One of the worst things about being single right now at 30 years old is the fact that I feel like I am grieving and feeling so upset over the fact that I missed out on love and a long-term relationship in my 20s. Mind you, I have never been in a long-term relationship. Like, I've had lots of short-term flings and things that I had really wanted to turn into something more, but ultimately they never did. And this is very devastating as someone who is now in her 30s, because I feel like I missed out on this entire chapter of my life that most people got to experience. Like, I will never get to experience young love. And I'm not saying 30 is old at all. That is not what I'm saying. However, I do think that obviously, like, the older you get, the different you act than you would have in your 20s or younger. Like, I really genuinely feel like I missed out on that first love that everyone has when they're in their late teens or 20s. And it sucks because it's like, okay, well, hopefully I'll go through my 30s getting into a long-term relationship at some point. But that's just not the same as like being in high school and having your first boyfriend, or even in college or something like that. Like, my first relationship long term is going to be well into my adulthood. And what makes this whole thing even worse is that I genuinely believed, like, I could have like bet on my life that I would have had a relationship in my 20s. Like, there was actually no doubt in my mind. Like, even though I didn't have anything long term in high school or college, I was like, I'll definitely meet someone and probably get married before I'm 30. Never did I imagine being 30 years old and being able to sit here and say, yeah, you know, I've never been in anything long term. And it just really breaks my heart. Like, it makes me so sad for the younger version of me that like wanted this and really thought it was going to happen, because I feel like I let her down. And this is now a time of my life that I'm never going to be able to get back and experience. And at this point, I'm like, okay, if I'm lucky, hopefully I'll meet someone that I'll want to get into a long-term relationship, and vice versa. But yeah, like, I don't even have an issue with being single. I really don't. I know it might seem like it. What I have an issue with is grieving something that I was positive was going to happen, and now looking back and realizing I got nowhere near it.
I'm not a on the first night type of dude, right? Either, unless you.
No.
Oh.
I just like, I don't know, like, I want you to look at my personality.
I'm 100%.
This is like my motto.
I'm not into that.
My motto is personality, not my pussy.
100%. Unless you. Now, if you change your mind.
Making a movie?
Yeah.
Come on. TikTok?
No. Yeah, I'm just doing an outfit photo, like a video.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you pay for it?
No.
Would you like to get paid?
Huh?
Would you like to get paid?
What do you mean?
Alright.
Like, I do art on it, Instagram and TikTok, so.
Would you be interested in something casual and compensating?
I'm okay. Thank you.
Women in these comments, they going along with it. One woman said, the way colleges made me so broke, I'd probably say, for how much? Another person said, in this economy, I would have at least asked, how much are we talking? Another woman said, my toxic trait is, I would have accepted. Another woman said, you turned him down in this economy?
Last night I made a post asking, are there any real men that exist anymore? I don't think I've ever dated a real man. Apparently that was a hate crime because men started foaming at the mouth in my comments. Like, bro, I didn't even say your name, but if the shoe fits, you should probably stop lacing it up every morning. Meanwhile, the man that I care about, who is apparently this man of God, literally left me on red after I sent him, like, the most vulnerable, heartfelt message. A 35-year-old man toggled on and off his read receipts. And I'm just sitting here like, did I just smoke crack? Like, am I supposed to have hope, or is everything supposed to be a humiliation ritual? I don't want to be here posting videos hating on men. I really do love men. I have 5 brothers who I think are phenomenal. I would love to be posting a, get ready with me, I'm gonna go have Shabbat with Gazelle Man. But I'm not. I'm sitting here on TikTok, wondering why it's apparently too much to want a man who wants me back, who can just reply without consulting ChatGPT. If you're gonna do that, fix your M dashes. We're not complaining, we're giving you vital information as to where it hurts. So use it as an instruction manual. And remember, it takes 2 to tango.
Do you ever maybe ask your brothers if this is a good guy? Do you ever maybe ask your 5 brothers, I'm assuming your dad, to vet this guy? Maybe that might work.
Okay, so time for a dating update. It is the end of September of 2025, and for this year, I only have gone on 2 first dates, and I just recently went on a second date, and it was very hopeful, but it turned out really, really bad. And I'll tell you why, and then you tell me if I'm being too picky or not. So, mind you, I do some work with local government, so that is some context. Anyway, we were walking around a downtown area, and he proceeded to share about how he feels like he does not believe in paying for parking. And I went on to kind of explain why probably cities do charge for parking, and he was just adamant about that, like would not, does not believe in it. And I just saw him being very like stubborn and not easygoing, and do not want to go out with him again. Nope.
I don't know, man. Some of these parking spots, some of these parking lots, they be charging astronomical prices where you be having a good time. You have a whole night planned for your family. That parking spot, what they be charging for can really take it out of you, especially in this economy. I think you might have overdone it. That might just be his thing. Why would you cancel him for that?
Is it just me, or is it kind of cool now to not have a boyfriend? Like before, I feel like if you had a boyfriend, you'd be like so excited to post him. Now
she's asking if having a boyfriend is out, as if it's some sort of trend. And it's like, if that's ever your mindset, you are not in the place to be dating at whatsoever. But also, it's so funny when a double standard is so clear, because imagine if enough men started shaming men who had girlfriends, who had wives, to the point where men were embarrassed to post their wife, post their girlfriend, be posted by their wife or girlfriend. Imagine what would be said about those men. Oh my gosh, they're gay. They're doing things for male approval. Oh, these men are miserable. They care more about what other men think than about women, which outside the gay thing would be very accurate, honestly. So it's like, if you look at this from a third party perspective, there's a bunch of miserable women on the internet making certain women feel embarrassed to be in relationships, which I'm not gonna lie, I do have to add, there's a lot of women who probably saw that video and are gonna pretend that's why they're single. Like, oh, having a man's embarrassing, that's why I don't have one. No, you can't get one. But I do want to say, what she's talking about, what I'm talking about even, does not apply to even most women. There's so many women who want to be in a relationship, post their boyfriend, be posted by their boyfriend. They want to be literally like, y'all know I've been with people, bro, they wanted everyone to know. So please do not watch a video like that and let it stain your view of women, because I'm telling you, most of them are not like that. Like, whatever she's talking about is what she's talking about.
Well, you got to look at what she said. I don't know if it's even the thing to have a boyfriend anymore. Trending. We go with the trends. Oh, everybody's getting a millionaire, 6-figure boyfriend, 6-foot boyfriend. I don't want 6 feet. They go with the trend. They're followers. Barely any of these women out here think for themselves anymore. And when a man sees, oh, you're cookie cutter, I'm unique, you're wearing the same type of makeup she is. And all of y'all are. You're cookie cutter. You're wearing and saying and doing and going the same places, same things that they are. Doing the same things that they're doing. There's nothing unique about you. So when I see you going out on a girls' trip, like everybody else, I see them acting a fool. Naturally, I'm assume you're acting a fool. Y'all go in trends. So with this type of thinking, I can probably guarantee that you're out there acting a fool. That you're going to get into some nonsense. Because if you, is it really even cool anymore to have a boyfriend? Are you an idiot? Did companionship go out of style? This is why men find it hard to date.
The thing I've noticed is all the best relationships I've seen, like the ones where they like end up getting married and genuinely seem happy, are the ones where the girl didn't know if she wanted to be with the guy in the beginning. Like he was simping over her and she had to decide, and really made him wait if she was going to be with him.
How do you even come to this conclusion and think it's like an accurate statement? Like, how do you look at a group of couples and you're like, yeah, that one, in my personal opinion, see, they don't look genuinely happy. They look fake happy. All right, that group of friends, oh, they look happy. And I do know the backstory on how they met too. It's just a personal thing that a lot of girls will have this take, even though I hear so many of the complete opposite story, where they say this and it's because they don't have the emotional intelligence to understand why they have this opinion. You have this opinion opinion because you like being in a position of power. So you think that it looks like a happier relationship because the girl's in full control. Because in your own words, this guy had to chase her, had to prove himself to her, had to literally get on his hands and knees to prove that he was worthy of being with this girl. So it makes the girl feel extremely safe. And then in your personal opinion, you're like, oh, look how happy they are. It's like, no, they're comfortable because they don't have to do as much to keep the partner. But imagine how it feels for the guy. So many of these takes just show that these girls can't put themselves in the opposite perspective. Besides the fact that it's like literally such an anecdotal thing. Like, how can you look at a group of people and you know their whole backstory? You know, oh, I remember Amber and John. That's the way they met. Oh yeah, that Brittany and Steven. I remember she really liked Steven when she first met him, you know, and they don't look too happy. Yeah, they're married and she claims she's happy, but she, in my personal opinion, she doesn't truthfully look happy because he didn't like, you know, simp over her. It's just such a way of coping with the fact that you want the guy to be doing the most to come and get you, and then you have the leverage of being like, oh, what am I gonna do with this guy? But you don't like it when a guy is equal to you and has a level of options, and then you have to do a little bit more to make sure that this dude doesn't leave. That's why that whole trend went around for a little bit of girls like trying to incentivize women to go for medium ugly men. And all they meant by that is, well, if you go for a more attractive guy, he's got more options for partners and he's going to require you to do more stuff. So go for that medium ugly guy because he's more likely to treat you better. So besides the fact that her point literally doesn't even make sense, it's just not even true. But that's just my opinion. But hey, what do you think?
You know, only in America can you walk around outside. I mean, walking around outside is beautiful. Got a ball cap on, jacket, you're comfortable enough to say some stupid stuff. Only in America.
This one might get me canceled, but I feel like I have to speak on this. Yesterday, I saw an interview with two African-American women, and I say African-American because it is relatable to the story. And they were speaking on interracial couples. I believe their exact words were, black women with white men are tired. They're tired of dealing with their own race, is the way she explained that. Decided they wanted to date white men. Then she says, black men who date white women are weak. This right here is what fired me up. A little backstory. I'm married to an African-American man. Especially coming from a black woman saying that black men are weak for dating a white woman. Black men are not weak for dating white women. My husband had been through so much before me and dated strictly in his race his whole life until we got together when he was 22, 23, somewhere in there. And been treated like absolute trash. But that's not to say that's technically black women. It's just the people he was picking. Same thing goes for me. I have never technically dated a white man. I've always dated black men. But I always chose wrong. It's not because of the race. It's not. I'm so sick of people throwing race into everything. Because black men who date white women are just as tired as the black women who date white men. I feel like it's just the people that they're picking. Felt like that lady was coming for my husband, even though obviously she wasn't. But he deserved to be treated the way I was treating him and vice versa. Just like he had been dating in his race his whole life until he met me. It's not because I was white. I had been dating black men my whole life and he is a black man. I didn't switch the race. It's not about race. Shit. I have a whole bunch on this topic, and I've chosen to stay silent for the most part. But at the same time, like I said, I feel like she was coming for my husband, even though she technically wasn't.
These modern women be mad when you say, you know what, this is not working for me. Let me find something else. And then when he finds happiness with somebody else, you get mad because he's not worried about your bum behind.
The way I'm never going on a date with a man again. I was literally talking about how my most irrational fear is if a man takes me on a date and then walks away mid-date. Bitch, tell me why that just fucking happened to me. For context, this guy met me, was saying, oh, I want to take you out, blah blah blah. So we go to this rooftop bar, And he was just being so fucking annoying and irritating. And then he says something about how his friends are visiting from the UN and he needs to go downstairs because they're downstairs. Bitch, I'm sitting there like, oh, I'm like, okay, sure. My dumb self. 5 minutes go by. Where is he? 10 minutes go by. I'm like, okay. I order a whole drink. I literally call him. I'm like, hey, where are you? Like, it's been 10 minutes. Weren't you supposed to come up and down? And he was like, oh yeah, sorry, I had to leave. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you had to leave? He said, oh, an emergency. I'm home right now, going outside to smoke, but okay, I'm home, I'm safe now. I can find it very funny. Basically, this guy the whole time was like trying really, like he was trying to touch me and like have advances on me, and I wasn't into it, and I was like, no, like I'm not interested in you, like I'm not doing that, like I just met you, right? And the fact that he, like, this is so scary, he basically was telling me that his friend was selling herself to some UN delegate for $2,000 and that he had to go downstairs really quick to grab her. And in my head, I'm like, I literally was like, what do you mean your friend is selling herself to a UN delegate? I was like, that's kind of absurd. But that's why he went downstairs. And in my head, I was like, you know, my intuition is strong. I was like, there's something off about this man. There's something off. I should have noticed by his fucking, like, just his demeanor, you know? And yeah, and I was right. And he left. And, I mean, thankfully the bill was only $200. So it's like, it could have been way worse. But I was so frustrated and, like, what the heck, and dumb. Like, I was just baffled. I started crying, and I just, like, ended up calling someone. And my friend, he, like, came and picked me up and dropped me home, and yeah. So watch out for New York scammer men. Watch out. Like, this is the first time this ever happened to me in my life. I never thought this. And mind you, I called him and I said, where are you? What's going on? He said, I'm sorry, I had an emergency. I was like, what the fuck? And guess what? He blocked me on everything. Yeah.
That boy say, I've had about enough. I'm going to give you a story, and whether you believe it or not, that's on you. But I'm leaving.
Let's talk about the fact that I do not baby my fiance. You heard that right? I do not baby my fiance. I am not his mom. I don't do things for him that would be like considered to be like wifey material or girlfriend material, or things that like normally women do for men because they are men. So let me give you some examples. I do not cook for my fiance. I do not clean up after him. I do not make his lunches. I do not tell him to schedule the doctor's appointment. I do not ask him if he booked a plane ticket. I don't do anything. I don't do any of those things for him, because all of those things to me is something that a mom would do for a child. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have kids, but when I hear my friends that have kids and people that have children, it's like, hey, book the appointment for your child. Of course, it's a child. Make them food. Of course, it's a child. Make them dinner. Of course, it's a child. Make sure that they have everything ready for school. Of course, it's a child. And I think society often tells you that women have to do that for men. And I cannot tell you, I set the ground rules so heavy that I was never going to do that. And don't get it twisted, it doesn't mean that I never cook my fiance if he's running home late from work. Of course I'll, take the free chicken out of the freezer or something, but I'm never gonna be like, oh honey, welcome home, here's your food. And if you do that because it's your love language and that's how you express your love to your fiance, I love that, okay? This doesn't apply to everybody. This just applies to me, and I'm just sharing my experience. I set those ground rules very early on in a relationship, before we even talked about moving in, before anything, because I was like, I am never going to baby you, and I am never going to be that traditional wife for you. So if you are looking for that, I am never going to be able to give you that. So look somewhere else. I also did not want to be with somebody that would expect that of me. Do you see what I'm saying? And he never did. And he's never once complained or asked me to do anything. By the way, I also don't do his laundry, which is always like, whoa. But he is a grown adult, okay? He is a grown adult, and he lived alone for 5 years. You think that in those 5 years, nobody packed his lunch, nobody told him where to go, nobody told him to do laundry, nobody told him to do anything, and he lived his life. So it's kind of crazy that like they can live their lives without you telling them what to do.
I also set the ground rules of the kind of wife and the kind of mom that I want to be. I do not want to be the mom that also has 2 children and a husband that's a child. You know what I mean? I do not want to be the mom that has to be responsible for everything in my household. I do not want to be the mom that has to ask my husband, hey, can you please warm up the bottle? No, no, no. I want to be a mom that has an equal partner with them, an equal father figure, because if you are a father, you are equally as involved, important, needed as the mother, okay? That is my firm and honest belief about it. I think if you want to have a child with somebody, both of you have equal responsibility, honey. People often ask me, like, how did my fiance react? He didn't react weirdly. He was like, yep, sounds great. Like, why would you do my laundry? Yep. Because if he was like, whoa, but you have to do my laundry because you're a woman and I'm going to watch football, I would have never dated him. Actually, that would have been like, I would never go for somebody like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I knew when I came into the conversation of like, hey, this is the kind of partner that I want to be, the kind of mom that I want to be, the kind of, roomie that I want to be, how I want to divide my life, and the expectation that I have of somebody that is coming into my life and is going to live with me and is going to partner with me. If he would have reacted in a way that was like, what the fuck? I would never date somebody like that. So my biggest recommendation to anybody that is moving in with anybody is set the ground rules of what kind of partner you want to be and what are you expecting from a partner.
I'm so glad this video came up on my timeline to prove my point that I was saying in another clip. A woman had her own apartment and she and her boyfriend, they had been pretty serious, not engaged yet, but they decided, okay, why don't we move in together? He says, okay, cool. We're going to do 50-50. She says, that's going to be a problem for me because I don't make as much as you, so I would be spending more money than you. He says, well, we're not married, so why don't we go ahead and do that? Well, I just feel like he's not compromising. I feel like he's not even trying to negotiate, yada, yada, yada. I think it should be proportional to rent, proportional to how much I make. Like if I make 30%, then I give 30% to the rent and yada, yada, yada. Huh. Okay. And now we see here in the comments, a woman saying, we do things 50-50. I'm not your mommy. 50-50. And even though it's harsh, that's why I advise that young man, stand right where you are. If this relationship is meant to go, it's meant to go right here and now. Well, I just wanted to see if we were compatible. That's what she said. Well, I guess we're not. If you're not willing to pay your half until we get engaged, at least, and married, we're not going to work. I'm not going to be sponsoring you. But I don't make that. 50-50 is what she said. I'm not your mommy. 50-50 is what you say, young man. I'm not your dad. I don't owe you anything. Well, this is the person that you love. That's what she said. Oh, I thought we were in love. I'm not some roommate. She just said 50-50. I'm not your mom. That's what she said. Drawing boundaries. And you get on here talking stupid instead of finding ways to serve your man as he serves you. Y'all are idiots. Losers.
At this point, all I could do is fucking laugh because why are you so pressed? So I was married to my ex-husband for 4 years. And when we first got married, I did not immediately change my name because neither of us cared that much. But when we had our daughter, my daughter had his last name. And I was just like, I would prefer if all 3 of us had the same last name. So we divorced in 2022, but I decided that I was going to keep my name because it matched my daughter's. And again, neither of us cared. Fast forward, 3 years have passed. We are in 2025. My ex has this woman that he's been dating for a while. And I go over to their house because I went to go pick up my daughter. She answers the door, comes outside, closes the door behind her and told me that we had something to talk about. And I'm like, okay, what is it? So she proceeds to tell me that her and my ex want to get married, but the only thing that's getting in the way is me still having his last name. She said that it was very weird that I decided to keep the name after we divorced anyway. And Shorty even offered to pay all the fees for me to get it changed and insisted that it was going to be easy, like it's going to be no big deal. And I don't know, I just find it really odd that me still having his last name is the only thing in the way of you guys getting married. That makes no fucking sense to me. I don't know why me as his ex-wife has anything to do or influences your decision at all moving forward. And aside from this name being connected to my child, I also have a career. I'm professionally involved in the community and my name carries weight outside of my marriage and my divorce. I don't know, call me petty, but I feel like it's not fair for me to have to change my name just to appease him. It literally has no effect on you. I should mention, I also found it very fucking offensive that they are offering to pay me to change my name. Like, his black ass is behind $20,000 in child support. Let's wake that up. Like, baby, your priorities is all mixed the fuck up. Aside from her coming to me with this, I have never had any issues with her. I do not have any issues with her dad, and I don't want to cause a problem where there is none, especially because my daughter is over there often. Also, everything that I'm saying now, I did not say to her in that moment. I was really caught off guard with trying to hurry up and pick up my daughter and go finish what the fuck I had to do. So basically just told her that I will look into it, but I wanted to come here and ask y'all, do y'all feel like it's weird that I still have the name? Do y'all feel like it's weird that I want to keep it because it's just easier? I feel like I should change it.
Well, it seems like an insignificant thing, but it's not your name anymore. There's women that would actually do this, and there's a proverb that talks about it. These women don't want to be married to you. They actually don't want to be submissive to you. They just want your name, and the name allows them certain benefits in society, and they know that. That's why they keep it. I'm thinking about Shaq's wife, where she is not really married to him anymore, and she's basically, I don't know if she put the book in his name or she put stuff in the book that described their relationship, but essentially what she was doing was she was gaining clout based off of his name. That's what she was actually doing. She was using his name to get more money to sell books. She knew once she changed her name, she's married to a pastor now, so once she changed her name to the pastor's name, it was like, who is this? And it would take them a minute. So people in her church will probably have to buy her book in order for them to actually really honestly and truly recognize her. But because they said Shaquille O'Neal's ex-wife, oh, well, I want to know about Shaquille O'Neal. What are they talking about? Then she was able to sell books, and now she thinks she has a certain level of clout. What you're talking about is my name holds weight in the community, professionally, and all that other stuff. Bingo. If you were to change your name, they would be like, who is this? You lost the benefit of being with him. It's easy. Just go change your name and say, well, I'm not this person anymore. That's done. Well, my daughter, well, your daughter, that's the union between both of y'all. But change the name. Get that man his name back.
So y'all said, why would I not ask a man for money if he's asking me for sex within the first 30 to 90 days? That was the comments. He's asking for my time within the first 30 to 90 days. So why would I not ask for money? Again, baby, you just proved my point. You're transactional. That's called a transaction. You do this for me and I'll do this for you. You buy me this, I'll give you that. You want my time for 5 hours. This is how much I make in 5 hours. I need that. That's called a transactional. I just told the transactional woman to scoot over for a second while regular people date. If you are a transactional person, I respect it. Just be upfront that you're a transactional person and you're not looking for a real connection. Because in the first 90 days, if a man is physically, verbally asking you for sex, I think it's cringe. I don't know any man past prom age and in college asking for sex. Like, hey, are we going to sleep together tomorrow when we see each other? Like, do I need to bring a rubber? Like, is tonight the night? Like, that's cringe. It gives creep. It gives pervert. It gets ill. And I will block a man that asks me for sex. I think that's disgusting. I think it should happen. We are an adult. Adults keep protection around. Adults know when you're going to see a person. You know when the mood might happen. I mean, you're grown. So if we're vibing, the energy's there, we're drinking, we're hanging out, and it's a good magnetic feeling. The energy is there, the mood is there, and I'm feeling the sexual energy, you feeling it, we talking, whatever, and whatever happens, it just happens. Just like I feel like money should just happen. A man should just want to give it to you. Hey, baby, what you need? Your tires are bulging. You need an oil change. Your yard is not cut. You need a babysitter tomorrow because I want to take you out. How much do your babysitter charge? Hey, I want you to miss work tomorrow. How much do you normally make a day? Because I want to take you somewhere, and it's only available tomorrow. I know that's your work day. Let a man do that, because a man will do that just like a woman will naturally give head. A woman will naturally want to cater. A woman will naturally want to cook. A woman will naturally want to do the laundry. You will naturally want to be there for a man when you're ready to show up for them. You would, and you would be like, oh, women be the first people to be like, oh, he can't get wifey treatment if he. So why do you want wifey treatment? He can't get husband treatment. Like, I'm not cooking and cleaning and doing all this because he ain't my man. So that's why I feel like you shouldn't be asking for anything, because just like you don't want to give everything up front, neither does guys. And it's not about being pick me. It's about just being an adult and being grown. That's all I'm saying. Like, you got to know when to grow up. And if you asking the first 30 to 90 days, I don't think you should be sleeping with a man. That's just my opinion. I don't.
because it takes a while to learn a man, his patterns, how he shows up, his consistency. Men are the most inconsistent creatures in the world. Like, I'm gonna watch. I want to see what spirits you're battling. I want to see what demons you're fighting. I want to see how you post, how often you go to work, what's the career path, how long you been staying at your crib. I want to see. 90 days, you can learn a lot of shit about a man, and sometimes you can save yourself from yourself if you slow your ass down.
Well, you're saying it shouldn't be transactional, but this is where men back up and they continue to stay out of the dating market. This is why you would get ghosted by a man. It's because he would listen to you explain your logic on not putting out or not giving the man anything. But then the man is just, the money's got to flow. My tires are bald. What is that going to be? $400 to $500? That's not including the dates that you're going to be going on that month. So the man has already spent $400 without you giving him anything in return. Number one. Number two, let's say you go on a date for $100 for both of you. That's $500, $600 that month. Just a month now. And you say, hey, would you possibly give me some money to get my hair and nails done? Give you another $200 for each of those, which is probably going to be more, but whatever. Now you're looking at $600 to $700 for a month. That's 1 month. But that's a high month. That's an emergency. Fine. Cool. Y'all's regular month, I want to go out to this new steakhouse. I don't know any steakhouse to, like, that's legit to where you're going to get out of there unless you don't get anything but water and a side. I don't know any steakhouse where you're not going to get out of there without $250, $300. I don't. So let's say 250. Let's take the lower end of that, right? And let's say you don't have to buy any flowers. It's just a dinner. 250. That's 1 week. The next week, you're probably going to want to stay at home, but let's order in. DoorDash it, right? And we can sit and watch a movie because we're not going to pick it up. Pick it up is probably going to be cheaper. We DoorDash it. Depending on where you are, you're looking at 70, probably 50, 60, $70. Okay. So you're sitting at 250 plus 70, right? And then that next week, let's say you get off easy with $30. $30 that next week, $60. 60 and 70. What are you looking at? 130 plus 250 right there. Now, I mean, at that point in time, $400, $500. Nope. So 400, 800, that's pretty expensive, I would say. And then the next month, we're 60 days in, and I've darn near spent $1,000. No, I've spent over $1,000 on you. We're 60 days in, and you haven't really given me anything. You don't want to cook. You don't want to clean anything. You don't want to pay for dinner. You don't want to take me out anywhere. You don't want to buy me any gifts. And I also forgot that. Buying gifts. You haven't even given any of that. So at what point in time does a man stop and say, man, I'm giving all of this, but she's not giving anything? What can I get? What do I deserve? Well, money ain't everything. Money don't unlame you. We're not talking about being lame, because the first thing that y'all want to do is, oh, well, you're begging. Just let it happen naturally. Okay, then. Let my money happen naturally. And it don't naturally go to anybody. So let's go get some lemonade. Let's go get some tea. Let's go get some coffee and get to know each other so my money will not flow so naturally to you.
I'm going to be honest. The reason why many of you guys don't have villages is because you are liabilities. In order to be a part of a village, there is a sense of accountability that everyone must carry. And many of you guys don't carry that sense of accountability. You carry a sense of entitlement. You walk around demanding support, completely negating the fact that people have to step outside of their own personal lives to support you. And when they do, you don't appreciate it. You don't say thank you. You don't say thank you for buying me the box of diapers. Thank you for giving me $10. Thank you for the ride. Thank you for picking my kids up from school. Thank you for watching them for 30 minutes. You think it's just such a small thing, but these people are literally stepping outside of their own lives to support you, and you don't see it. And then on top of that, you have nothing to give in return, not even gratitude. You can't even support them. If they were to come to you and say, hey, can you help me? Would you be able to do it? No, because your hands are tied with your kids. You guys are selfish. You show up with empty hands, begging, and give nothing in return. Okay? That's why there is no village. You killed the village. You abused the village. You had no accountability. When the village told you not to have sex with that man, what you do? Go and do it, and then you created a baby and you brought more liability to the village. And now you're saying, help me, help me. You didn't think about the extra weight you was putting on the village when you did what you did you? That's why you have to be accountable when you're a part of a village, and y'all don't want accountability. You want entitlement.
And men know this. I keep on talking about this over and over again. Modern women will put pressure on everybody around them. They make everybody around them responsible for their emotions over and over again. Tell you about the story about the young lady. Was she probably not young now, but for some reason she was talking about she didn't want a husband. This woman goes to church now. Don't want a husband. Don't want a man. These men are this. These men are that. I was in a relationship where a man put his hands on me. I get it. But I do want a child, though. I do want a child. So I'm going to go and figure out a way to get pregnant and have my baby. Fine. There's no father around. Who's going to raise a child? Oh, wait. It's going to be your mom and your dad. When you're doing things, when you're hustling, when you're out here trying to build a business, who's going to support you? Your mom and your dad. Mind you, your mom and your dad are getting up in age. They retired. They're close to retirement age. Why would they want to be taking care of another kid? Sure, they want grandkids, but why now would they want to take care of another kid? And now, Papa ain't gonna leave you alone. Mama ain't gonna leave you alone. So now I gotta teach you how to be a woman or a man. I gotta be a role model for you when I was already a role model. Putting pressure on people when they didn't even ask for it. And now they gotta step up for you and the grandbaby. Oh, well, you could watch them for 30 minutes. That's the least you can do. Why? I don't have any kids. I raised my kids. It was hard for me. I struggled. I didn't want to do it again. That's why I only had one or two. But y'all don't care about what people think. And even if you didn't have a child, modern women continue to put pressure on people left and right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a pact. We're going to be together forever. We're not going to get married. We're going to be single and childless forever. And then one woman says, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I met a nice man. He's a good man. He takes care of me. I never thought I would find this, but here we are. What am I going to do? I'm lonely. I don't got no friends. Now I got to find single friends. You shouldn't have been thinking like that in the first place. You're going to need companionship. Guess who told you that? Men did. At some point in time, you're probably going to want a family. You're probably going to want kids of your own. You're probably going to want a husband. I'll be fine with my cats, my wine. I'm a dog mom of 5. I'm telling you, they're great. Love them. I love them. Great. But they're probably not going to be able to replace what you're looking for. That's going to come from a man. I don't need it. I'm going to get it from my toy that I use on myself, toys that I use on myself. So I don't even need that. And they're better than men. I'm going to get it from my family and my friends. So now you're dumping emotional support onto them. Come on, man. Think about it. You're a boss, babe. You're a girl boss. Think about how this is going to play out. You can think about how to get money all day long. You can project, forecast, budget. Just roll that out there. What's the latest thinking that we have? How are we going to get more cash flow? You can think about that, but you can't see the end of what it's going to be. Well, I just freeze my eggs. I just go get surgery. I'll go get cosmetic here, lip filler, Botox. I put on a little bit more makeup. I'll slim down a little bit and put this on or wear that to make myself look young, even though I'm 50. Y'all are putting pressure on everybody else that nobody freaking asked for. And it's not funny. You're selfish. Take accountability and say, maybe it's time for me to change. Maybe I can actually find somebody if I just stop acting crazy.
So first and foremost, this is how I know that you didn't listen, because I literally said in my video, don't come in my comment section talking about, oh my God, why are we always to blame, this, that, and the third? Because I genuinely don't give a fuck. Okay. And on top of that, did I say black women? No, I said single mothers. But since we're talking about black women, let's talk about them. A lot of you black women are not kind women. Y'all are not respectful women. Y'all are not nurturing women. And a lot of you black women who had sons, right? You were not an open space for your son. You were not kind to your son. You resented your son because yet again, y'all love to blame a man that wasn't even in the household. I'm going to tell you right now, if you are looking for a black woman who makes content that degrades, demeans, disrespects men, my content's not for you. Block me because I will never be talking to men for men. I am a woman and a black woman. So I will always be talking to women and black women. That's it. I don't give a fuck about what men are doing. I don't give a fuck about men taking accountability. That has nothing to do with me as a woman. I take accountability for my life, for how I move, right? The choices that I make, right? That is y'all's problem. Y'all don't know how to take accountability for the choices that you made. You chose to lay down with that man. You chose to have unprotected sex. You chose to have that baby, right? Those are your choices. Nobody else's choices but yours. You chose to ignore the red flags, right? All of that shit. And y'all want to be coddled so bad. Y'all want to be infants so bad. Y'all want all the grace in the world so bad, right? And it's done with me. I'm not giving y'all grace on stuff that y'all don't want to take accountability for. The part that you played, for the choices that you made as an adult, okay? And doing your best as a mother isn't you just making sure that you have a roof over their head, food in their belly, go to school, whatever the case may be. Doing your best is actually making sure that you are emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically able to nurture your son to be the best human being possible that he can be. Whatever the fuck that looks like in your household, right? And unfortunately, a lot of you women can't do that because you haven't learned how to do that for yourself. This is why y'all have such a victim mindset. This is why y'all have this, when y'all speak out of emotion because you're triggered. You don't speak out of healedness. You don't speak out of logic. None of that shit. When I knew I needed to get help because I was in a very dark space and I did not want to, transfer any of that negativity onto my son, I went and got myself help. A lot of y'all don't want to look in the mirror and say, I am a fucked up individual. Because I had to say it. And saying it doesn't make you bad. Saying it actually makes you better. Because you are aware of who you are and what you can fix about yourself. A lot of y'all don't want to admit that you are not a good mother. A lot of y'all don't even want to admit that you didn't want to be a mother. But you chose to have that child because 1, you thought that was going to keep the man around. 2, because you thought that was going to fix you, right? And this is exactly why there are some men out here who are like the type of men that y'all complain about so much. A lot of these unhealed men came from unhealed women. I want y'all to understand that. A man's first love is his mother. And if he didn't get the love, the nurturing, the compassion, the all the things that we as women should be giving to our sons, when they grow up, they don't even know the first thing to do when it comes to another woman, right? Everything I talk about in my videos are also things that I had to go through as well. Okay? I'm not just talking just to talk. I'm talking out of experience, out of knowledge, out of wisdom, out of understanding, out of healedness. Okay? And the difference between me and a lot of you black women is the fact that I can sit in the darkness with myself. I can look in the mirror with myself and tell myself, I need to fix this. I am not a good individual right now, right? I'm not the best mother right now, right? I have no problem saying that shit. I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect. But what I will do is be the best version of myself so that I am transferring positive and good energy to my son so that he is a good kid who turns into a good man. So I said what I said in my video. Y'all just hate the messenger, but y'all don't want to listen to the message. That's the problem with y'all.
I like when she started talking about accountability. And I think that's the root of it for a lot of this. A man, when he lays down with a woman, he has to take accountability for that. It don't matter whether the woman messed over him or did him wrong or didn't tell him anything. You went in there in that room and you was messing with that woman. Take care of your child. Period. End of story. That's what society is going to say. Whatever you need to do. Well, what am I going to do with school? Bro, quit school. You're going to have to make it work. Period. Go get you a job. You got a baby now. You got responsibility. That's what they're going to tell him. And if not, you're a bum. You're a deadbeat dad. Trash. But when a woman does it, oh, well, you can just go down to the clinic and get that taken care of. You shouldn't have to put your life on hold. He's not. No accountability. None. Oh, well, this man, he just the way he talked to me and the words that he said. Accountability. You like what he was saying, so you laid down with him. Oh, man, he spent the bag on me and accountability. He did not force you to do anything. Take accountability. That's what so many modern women have a problem with. Even if the man would take 60% of their blame, y'all don't want to take the other 40. I took majority of it. Even if a man were to take 90% of the blame, y'all won't even take 1% of it. It's his fault. And even the 1%, oh, I did that because he did X, Y, and Z. So basically it's 100% of his fault. It's 100%. Because if he wouldn't have done that, then I wouldn't have done this. Really? At some point in time, it's got to be on you. You got to fix what you did wrong in the situation. Come on, guys.